Welcome back to Teach Me Coffee. My name is James Lucas, and I'm here with.
Jacob Bickers.
We're here at Blackwater Coffee here Blackwater Roasters here in Seneca, South Carolina. And yeah, this is super close to Clemson. If you're not familiar, my wife and I both went to Clemson, and we uh, started coming here about maybe 2 years ago now, and have become really good friends with Jacob and with Stephanie and John Boy here. So yeah, we're big fans of Blackwater, and we love the people here. So excited to get to talk to Jacob and about your experience in coffee.
Yeah. Um, do we just want to go into the introduction part?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So just tell me a little bit about about how you got into coffee and kind of where you worked before you got to Blackwater.
Okay. So I started in food service like most people in like high school and stuff. And the first shop I went to was a place called Lamppost Coffee, right across from my high school in this little strip mall. So I went there for a very long time, ever since it had opened, and got into specialty coffee that way. I eventually worked there for a little bit. It wasn't working out, so then COVID came. So that was great. So I had to stop, working specialty coffee for a little bit, do construction, came back into it, and eventually I moved here in South Carolina and picked up a couple of jobs working until I got here. Still worked in coffee, but yeah, and I'm here.
Cool deal.
This is the first shop I went to when I moved here.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been here since November 23.
Wow.
So
Who was on bar whenever you came?
I'm pretty sure it was Steph.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else, because we had Faith and Shannon.
Okay.
I think they did more of the markets before the shop opened.
Fair.
So yeah,
Fair.
and John Boy and his wife Annie and stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well then, what did like those conversations look like whenever you were kind of moving toward working here?
It was kind of like, hey, we know you like work at this other place. Like, do you want to help fill in at markets every now and then? And I was kind of hesitant to kind of get in initially because I don't know how to drive stick shift. I love Stella the van; she's gorgeous, but yeah, I don't know. I just want to break that. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably be stuck on the side of a road or something, knowing me. But that, and also like finding a job when I got here initially, like I was unemployed for like a month, even though I was looking for jobs in advance before moving here. So like, I was like, I want to make sure I have like work. So I was kind of a little hesitant at first, but eventually they were like, hey, like, what if we got you into the cafe for like 1 day a week? And then it kind of got in there about September 24. And then kind of slowly, gradually added days, and now I'm here. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, you were pretty green whenever I first started coming here. That's
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
I just didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how would you say your knowledge of like specialty coffee, both like on the cafe side, like using this beautiful machine behind us,
Yeah.
yeah, just working with like espresso machinery and working on like steaming your milk, like all the like espresso basics. How would you say your knowledge there has grown? And then we can even talk about the roasting side there too.
Yeah. So, it was really interesting, like working it at first, like when I started my first job in specialty coffee, because I was like, oh wow, like I know how to do so much. And then eventually I started working at Starbucks for a little bit. So it was kind of like, oh, like, let me teach you how to do this. This is what happens behind the scenes, but you can't do that on this machine. So I thought I knew all that, obviously, but I'm not like a mechanic or anything. Like John Boy can like take apart this thing, and like he modified it with the lights and stuff like that. And yeah, that's above my, that's out of my league. But yeah, I've learned a lot, and I wouldn't say I like specialize in anything in particular. I'm a kind of jack of all trades to an extent, but like I'm not like super good at latte art. I'm not like a competitive barista, but I have like.
But don't sell
Yeah.
yourself short.
Oh no, yeah,
You-
yeah.
yeah. So what was like learning latte art like for you? Because I personally know that you can pour a good few things now.
Yeah, it took a lot of time. I think initially, like I had a really good like, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but like, I made really good progress at first and got to like just before Rosetta, and then I've because I've worked at a couple of shops, it's just like you have to readjust and then like get used to a different machine. And so I feel like that's kind of like stagnated that. And then you have your home machine, and then that's like not as strong as this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just like constantly trying to relearn how to do it. So, but we're getting on the Swan. Stephanie and I were practicing Swans yesterday.
Really?
So
That's awesome.
we're going to try and like perfect it for real.
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe one day for me. Right now, I'm still touching like a heart, if that. So
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I can get in there one day. Yeah. What would you say, like, if we're gonna park on latte art for a second? What was like the biggest jump in learning with that? Like, what made things click whenever you were first learning latte art?
I don't know. That's kind of hard. I don't know. For me, it just kind of makes sense. Like the contrast and stuff like that. Sometimes like I'm like semi-ambidextrous. So like I have to kind of like, if I can't get it, I sometimes have to like kind of switch it up with my other hands. And just kind of like think about it in a different way if I'm like getting really stuck. But I don't know. For me, like specifically the Swan has not clicked for me for some reason. And it's been like over 5 years.
Yeah.
And so now I'm finally like, oh, that's like, I've watched 1,000 videos on it, but I don't know. It's just practicing it makes it just click a lot better, obviously.
Yeah.
But
It's funny how much you can watch videos and tutorials and all that of like how to pour certain things. But at the end of the day, if you're not getting reps in, like it's not going to click.
No, not at all. And it's like, it's different too. Like, I mean, working at home, like you can make as many as you want, but you're not going to make as much as like a cafe.
Yeah. And
then you're going to feel bad because you're like, I'm wasting milk. But I will say, use like, some people have said like use like soap, like your steam pitcher, rinse those stuff, kind of practice the texture. Do like a hot chocolate. Just buy a gallon of milk that you're okay with like not drinking.
Yeah.
And a little bit of hot water with like mocha on the bottom of your cup, and just stir it. Make sure you like, you basically are treating it like your espresso for the contrast, and just practice pouring.
Yeah.
But I remember like the first year I worked, I spent like a lot of time doing that. Like I bought a gallon of milk, and I was like, okay, it's going to be slow today, so I'm just going to like crank out some like lattes, you know? So that helps.
I'm sure. Yeah. My goal is to one day get to where, like, not that it's second nature, maybe, but
Yeah.
I want to be able to like consistently pour like a Rosetta. I think that would be nice, especially like I don't work in coffee at the moment. I would love to, but I would love to, like, whenever I'm hosting people at home, be able to like really wow them on that end. So
Yeah. The shallower the cup, the better.
yeah.
That's another thing too that's kind of like kept me back from getting really good at latte art is like the to-go cups.
They're so hard to pour into.
It's just like really crammed and tiny, and you can't do anything. Like me and Stephanie were practicing Swans yesterday in both the to-goes and like the ceramic cups, and it was just like night and day. Like it was just like, oh, there's no like contrast or anything. Like it's like the entire thing is up against the rim versus like that you had like a frame basically around the Swan with the milk foam. So
it's funny too, because like even the to-go cups that y'all have are wider mouth than a lot. Like the ones that I've poured into are like the definite like 8 ounce like cylindrical like There's no winning there.
If a company's listening, I would really love a super shallow. Give me a soup bowl coffee cup with a big lid.
That'd be sick.
It's probably not realistic, but
like those Acme mugs.
Yeah, make it like a soup bowl. I would love that.
Sick. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, okay. Aside from latte art, let's move over to the espresso side of things. Did you work on a La Marzocco before coming here?
Yeah, I would say pretty much besides one shop, I think there's Starbucks, and then there's one indie shop I worked for in Texas that I think it was Novo Simonelli, or I can't remember what the name is. But yeah, it was, you can get really good espresso on something that's not La Marzocco, but I've worked more with those for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. I think the biggest one I've done had like 4 groups on it, and the workflow on that is insane.
Golly.
It was a drive-through store, but
fair.
Super fun.
I'm sure, yeah. I've always been curious about the 3 group head machine because, like, it seems like it would up your productivity, but realistically, like nobody has three hands, and then like
Yeah.
overlapping two people on that seems a bit excessive because you can put one person over two groups, but that I don't know that in between of two to four, it feels like it's a hard jump. But then a four is freaking massive. Like
Yeah, it's super overkill, but
yeah,
it's so fun. Like you could technically have like if you wanted to, this would be like super overkill setup. Two grinders on one side, decaf regular, two grinders on the other side. Imagine if you split the machine in half, you could have two baristas like cranking out like on each side.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
Like that'd be so expensive, but
It'd be hard to hear too, because like just the flow of that does not
yeah.
doesn't
Oh my gosh.
add up.
With
But
this heavy cream, you're game over.
oh gosh, yeah. But no, yeah. Volume wise, that would be a game changer.
Yeah. I do like that's one thing I didn't learn until like maybe 2 years ago at one shop I started at. Like there were some shops where it was just normal to just have one barista on bar and someone else on cashier. But game changing thing for sure, like have one person on milk and like syrups and stuff like that, and then another person just doing shots, and then like they just hand them the steamed milk, and then the shots person will finish up the
Yep.
art and pass it out. That's like a sick setup because then you have like your barista is just focusing on cranking shots, and if you like split them like in like incremental by a couple of seconds or so, like you can get a bunch out.
Yeah, I feel like isn't that what Valor does? Don't they have like I think they call it like
Probably.
their concierge is their cashier. I don't know what they call the bar person, like the person that's like actually like pulling shots. But then I think they call Expo. They call it Expo the person that's like actually pouring and finishing the drinks.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, that workflow is just it's nice.
It's
nice.
so nice.
And like yeah, load wise for your team, I feel like that's the most like easy to withstand during like a gnarly rush.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm also like that's three people on bar, so
Yeah.
you got to be able to justify those numbers.
No, yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So with working here and getting to work with Stephanie, who's got a crap ton of experience in coffee, and John Boy, who's the roasting mind here, how would you say your knowledge of espresso tech and like working with this machine and just espresso drinks as a whole has grown?
I would say like it's been from like small stuff to like just replacing the rubber gaskets.
Yeah.
Like I remember being at one shop and they're like, oh, we have to hire this tech to like do maintenance on our machine, and now like I know how to do it. I'm like, oh, this is just like a cheap part.
Yeah.
And like you just need one little tool and it's like pops out. Like stuff like that has made a big difference, but also just getting to like practice like, roasting some he had me John Boy, sorry, had me practicing on the Beamore for a little bit. And then I've done maybe like one or two, like practicing doing like batches on there.
That's
like
awesome.
it's been sold here once or twice, like the stuff I've done.
That's
It's
so cool.
obviously, I don't do it very often, but
Fair.
it's just really cool. Like, I don't know, you can read like a bunch of courses and stuff, but again, experience, like you're not going to learn everything that you would need unless you're doing it.
Very fair.
But it's been a lot. I blanked, but
No, you're good.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. What would you say, like, something you want to get more experience with in the next year would be roasting?
Potentially.
No.
Like I'm not like exclusively like tied down to one idea. I like having the variety of stuff to do. Like, one thing I do really miss, like when I was like a supervisor or I managed a Starbucks kiosk, like was getting like to have the days where you focus on being on bar and enjoying it and connecting with people. And then you're like, today I'm just going to chill, pop in my headphones and count inventory or something like that. And I'm kind of the same with roasting. Like it's really fascinating. And thankfully we don't do that much production, but like if I did like 7 days a week roasting, like, I don't know, I think I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
'Cause I need to talk to people.
I've heard, like, it's definitely possible to make that transition from working on bar, like, 7 days out of the week to working in, like, the roasting side 7 days out of the week. But I feel like the common thread is people just miss the interaction and miss just, like, the getting back to the basics. So
Yeah.
I could see how that would be a hard transition to justify, because, like, they are two very different things, even though they, like, serve under the same industry.
Yeah.
But I could see how that would be not as fun if you love the people side so much.
Yeah. Like the science part is really fascinating.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of like sometimes behind the espresso bar. Like if you're like in a rush, like you're not. I mean, you're following standards and recipes, of course, but like you're just so used to it, it's muscle memory, so you just do it. But I would say it's the same thing with roasting to an extent. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff in science and stuff, but unless you're like sample roasting, you're just following the same recipe. It's kind of like brewing, but just with fire.
Yeah,
I guess.
That's very true. Whenever you first like learning the like bare bones basics of roasting, like how the machinery actually operates, like how to read graphs, like what first crack is, like stuff like that. What was the coolest thing that you learned, and what was the hardest thing to drill in?
So I actually started learning about roasting a little bit earlier, like before I got here.
Okay.
Shout out Greater Goods. They had like a workshop I took in maybe like May 2023.
Okay.
And it was really fascinating. Like, well, they had like a bunch of access to equipment, like moisture meters and stuff like that.
Oh.
So just like learning about that process of like, okay, like this is how we make sure it's like to the standard and stuff like that. Super interesting. But we were doing it on a little sample roaster. So like you're manually cooling this like with like like a little like I want to say like a frying pan like kind of tray, but it's got like holes in it on the bottom so it airs out. And also the hard thing was you're writing down like the stuff like on a piece of paper initially.
Yeah.
So you're not like initially seeing the graph. But like after you would put them in and you're like, okay, cool. This is like vaguely what we're trying to achieve.
Okay.
But it's not the same as using Cropster.
Fair.
So I didn't get to start using that until like about a year ago, basically.
What's the capacity on the roaster back here?
I think it's 3 pounds.
Okay.
I think you would technically want to go a little bit under that. But I mean, I don't want to do the math right now, but it's a lot if you're running the machine all day, basically.
Fair. Yeah.
But not as much as like something bigger than a cooling tray, bigger than this table.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah, we actually both had the chance to go up to Methodical in November, and we got to see some of their machinery. And like,
got to see the Blue Boy.
Yeah, that junk is awe-inspiring.
yeah, it's insane. Well, it's crazy too, because like I got to with another job I worked when I moved here. Like I got the opportunity to go see Methodical before they had opened their newer facility.
Right. Yeah.
And so like it's crazy to seeing like how it's like grown in like I guess 2 years technically. So like I think they only had 2 roasters, and now they had like 3 because they added the Blue Boy.
Yeah.
And so much more. Like it's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Love to shout them out and support them.
Yeah.
So kind of backtracking a little bit, something that I'd be curious how you would explain it. What is first crack when it comes to roasting? No, you're good. When it comes to roasting, and like how does it display itself on the graph that you're reading?
So for Cropster, I will say like it doesn't. I don't know if you would technically see it like on the graph like a spike or anything like that, because we have a steady like rate of rise that we're following. But I mean, it will like kind of alert you, hey, you're getting kind of close to that temperature range when first crack is happening. Like, get ready for this. But obviously we like kind of like audibly and visually like kind of confirm that.
What's it sound like?
Well, kind of like popcorn. Like it's just like the gases coming out as it's cooking.
Cool.
But I think don't quote me on this, but I think it's the water initially because it's been drying out. Yep. So the last bit of the water, and then I think as you get to second crack, it's more just carbon.
Fair.
So
how much of like the coffee that you're roasting here is actually reaching second crack though?
I would say none of them.
Yeah. Because that's pretty dark roast at that point, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Sumatra is our darkest one, and that's a medium dark. Okay. We don't like to get to the oily point. It's so gross.
Yeah.
Because I've been taking some like SCA certification courses online, and so I had my trainer wanted me to try and practice like roasting, like and following like 3 different profiles, and one of them was a dark one. It was so gross, and we really just like cleaned the tray, and it was just so oily, and like the beans were sticking to each other. I was like, oh, this is This is gross.
It's like you're melting them down.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like somebody put like butter in there.
Ugh.
Well, I don't know. They're not
Yeah.
like exactly like that, but still. Yeah,
Mm.
just, I don't know. There's a time and place for dark roast,
For
but
sure. Yeah, it's Waffle House.
true. Yeah.
That's funny. Cool deal. Well, what's something that you'd say you're not the most well versed in right now when it comes to roasting that you'd like to learn more about this year?
Honestly, it's probably the specifics. Like, I could probably just work on doing flashcards on like all the,
Fair.
the stuff. Like I know
Yeah.
the Maillard reaction and stuff like that, but like the specific temperatures, like I want to be able to like call it off and like be
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, that. Um, I don't know. It would be interesting to like get into. I don't know if I'll be able to work on this year,
Mm.
but just get back into like trying roasting different coffees. Like when John Boy had me doing, like when he let me practice on the Beemore, the little home roaster, I would just order some like random beans off of like Sweet Maria's or something like that,
Mm.
and just like it's really interesting trying to figure out. Okay, like I have little like measuring tube things. I'm like, okay, this one's a little denser. Like here's how I should approach this. So just kind of like figuring out how to like based on like the like where it's from and the varietals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like I want to get more familiar with that and how
Yeah.
it affects the roasting.
Yeah.
So just the critical thinking part.
Hmm. I'm definitely curious about that. I wish I could remember the guy's name because he's someone more prominent in like coffee online. But I literally before we got here today, I was listening to him like kind of talk about like origin and varietals and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be interested to see how that then translates to the roasting side of things. Like what trends you do see with something out of Ethiopia versus something out of Colombia,
Yeah.
and like how it presents itself when roasting. That'd be so cool to learn, but
Yeah.
that feels years away from me.
Yeah. And I'd like build off that too and like to say like it'd be interesting to like once I hone that in, figure out like, okay, what kind of profile am I trying to want to create? And go off that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I got sugar, but like what if I want to
Mhm.
develop like this certain note? And try and get a certain outcome out of it.
Yeah,
You know?
because that's definitely like a beautiful science of like the espresso side of things. Like whenever you're like
Yeah.
making a seasonal drink or something of that nature, like once you understand creating a concoction like that
Yeah.
and like know what aspects you can manipulate, or even like if you need to maybe pull that shot like 5 grams more to help with like balancing the flavor of a certain thing. It's fun to know the different variables well enough to where you can pull certain strings and make things happen.
Yeah.
So I'd love to. That'd be really cool to reach that level of knowledge with roasting and be like, okay, I know how to bring out this note
Yeah.
more. Um,
Same thing with like pour overs and brewing. Like I want to get
Yeah.
more into that too. Like I mean, we follow like a recipe, of course, and like I'll tweak the temperature depending on like
Mhm.
the roast level, of course, and maybe the grind size. But yeah, like I don't know. I just it blows my mind how someone can just be like, oh yeah, like this one coffee, I need to do this, and this is like how I'm gonna do this brew like
Mhm.
style, and I don't know.
it's so cool.
I would like to kind of get to, you know, brew the best way for each coffee, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for like that kind of experience. Like, oh yeah, like let me get a dry sniff. Like oh here's like if you go to Coffee, I feel like you kind of get that.
Yeah.
Or Proud Mary's in Austin was really sick.
Yes. I wish whenever we went, I only got an espresso drink, and that is a disservice to that
Dang.
beautiful, beautiful business. But yeah, that is a top 5 experience of all time. Because I mean,
Yeah.
even though that I got espresso drinks, they're both beautiful. But yeah,
You gotta get a pour over
their
next
pour over
time.
setup is ridiculously cool.
Well, that and when they first opened in Austin, they served your pour over like in a like a little wine glass too.
Really?
So you're just getting like these aromatics and like there's just the
Yeah.
presentation like it's so sick.
That's cool. I got a fun pour over yesterday at went to Local Honey yesterday afternoon.
I thought about going there this
Really?
morning.
It's
Yeah.
it's great.
This is cool.
I forgot what it was. I don't want to say the wrong origin, but it was like very like pomegranate. Like yeah,
Okay.
like it was like pomegranate and molasses, and it was
That sounds good.
fun. I don't think I would want to drink it daily, but
Yeah.
it's always fun to like to drink something that's like whoa, this is like so apparent what this tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's cool. But
Same here. That I don't know. I can never drink the same coffee every day. I
Yeah.
need some variety in that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get bored after a while. Like our decaf here is great, but I'm just so tired of the nutty notes. You know, like I'm kind of like, oh, dang. I wish I could have like a light roast decaf or,
Yeah.
you know, with all coffees too, though. But yeah,
No,
there's
I
time to
agree.
adventure and time to have your comfort coffee, I
For
guess.
sure. I'd say like what I use at home, and like it's why I often will buy coffee now that we're visiting up here rather than living here, is I'll always grab like some espresso blend here
Yeah.
because that is like of the more well balanced espresso blends that I've used as like a base for drinks at home. So, but I mean before that I was on the methodical train because methodical like as I talked in the last episode, they are the main roaster for Piecewise, which Piecewise is how I got into coffee to begin with. And then just being up in Clemson, we're very close to Greenville, and
Yeah.
Methodical is
Like right there.
yeah. But yeah, big fan of Blackwater Espresso Blend at home. If you're listening to this, go to the website, order it right now.
It's also great on pour over.
Really?
Yeah, we brew it on drip sometimes.
I did not know that.
It's really good, like just in general.
I'm gonna try that tonight.
Espresso on latte on pour over. Try it. It'll change your life.
Interesting. Okay, well, kind of reaching back to pour over for a second, but I guess this bridges the gap for that specific coffee. What would you say is the right recipe for it?
For pour over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably not the best person
Fair.
to give you a recipe on that, but I mean we just do I think it's the 1:15 or 1:16 ratio.
Mhm.
We just do like 30 grams in, or yeah, 30 grams in. No, 20 grams in. I'm sorry. I do this every day. I don't know why I'm freaking out about this. 20 grams in, and then it's 300 grams of water. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Something
one
like
to
that.
16 ratio basically. Yeah.
Cool. And y'all have a time war grinder, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many clicks you go to usually for? This is for personal use. I want to know what to use tonight.
I'm not sure.
That's okay.
I'll take a look after we finish. And I'll let you know.
Word.
We
would
don't really
guess-
tweak it too much.
Yeah, it's probably around like 5 to 6 if I had to guess.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, you want to shoot for like a 3-minute brew,
Mm.
I think minimum. But yeah,
Yeah. Cool deal. Yeah, no, I'll try that tonight. That's exciting.
it's so good. It's so good.
Cool. Well, okay. We've talked about the espresso basic side of working here. We've talked about roasting. Now more so leaning into just like shop culture side of things and like offerings to people here. Real quick, tell me about the Blackwater community because there's a very specific like group of people that come here that are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So we have we're very fortunate to have the people that we have here. It's really nice. Like it takes some adjusting, like as a city boy, like having to adjust to like small rural, like to me it's more rural, like communities and just a slower pace. It took a little bit, but like it's just so chill and everyone's so welcoming and friendly. And the nice part too is like I would say we're close to Clemson, so we'll get like some students and stuff like that, and people kind of closer to my age. But also like we just have people like families, retirees. Like we have a pretty diverse like age range here, and so like just all walks of life. You know, you get to we're really involved with our community here. I would say like not necessarily like in volunteering, but just like their personal lives. Like we went to someone's wedding, like. I've had someone give me like some clothes. Like they're like, hey, we're doing this, but like I heard you said you need to go shopping for clothes. Like here you go. Like they'll bring us food. Like it's just really cool getting to see people. Like I think there was I see so many people because I work 2 jobs. So like sometimes, sorry guys, names can be a little hard, but like there was a couple that met here for the first time, and like now they've been dating for. I don't know how long ago the last time I saw them was.
That's so cool.
But yeah, you just see like everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite part about having like a really cool local base?
So it's just I don't know, it's just really personal, you know? I feel like one thing that like people in cities kind of miss out on, and granted, like we're all busy, you know, we're all worn out and stuff like that. But I feel like people are more open to conversations, you know, whereas people are like, what are you talking to me for? Like, let me just put my headphones back in and like, no, let me pull out my phone. Like, stop talking to me. Yeah. So it can be a little difficult sometimes, but people are pretty friendly here.
Yeah. I can't think of another shop that like I either frequent or really have been to or of course Proud Mary's coming to mind now because I'm thinking about that bar behind their grinder counter, but where you can just like kind of pull up a seat at the bar and kind of just hang out with the team too.
I love that.
It's so much fun. I mean, Haley and I did it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now more so shifting into like the coffee side of things, just a thing that's grown in specialty coffee is seasonal menus and more so specialty drinks like that. Obviously that's like not new, but it's becoming more and more popular across third wave shops. And it's kind of like the industry standard now.
Yeah.
So where was your knowledge at whenever you came into working here on developing like seasonal or like flavored drinks, and like where have you grown, and like what do you enjoy about making a seasonal menu?
I mean, I'm always down to like try new things. And I'm just always curious. Like again, I never order the same thing, drink the same coffee and stuff like that. So for me, it's just kind of just natural. Like, oh hey, like sometimes we'll come up with like basic drinks that are like, oh, what about this? Like, oh, an oatmeal latte. Like you got maple, brown sugar, cinnamon, and then make it with oatmeal, like or oat milk. Sorry. So it's like oatmeal and a latte. Like you're just like, oh, I got these ingredients. Like that, I can do that. That's easy. Or Stephanie's really like, what's the word I'm looking for? She thinks of like something like really exotic. Like she's like, I'm gonna make the Dublin like with butter. Like I've never had a bullet coffee with butter and black coffee, which is surprising.
Either.
We have the stuff here, so maybe I need to try that Tuesday. But she'll like think of like the most like. Then again, I don't cook a lot and stuff like that.
That's fair.
So like she'll like think of an ingredient. She's like, oh, what if we did this? And I'm like, I would have never thought of it. And it's just like crazy good.
Yeah.
Like or maple and sage. Like she's come up with like some.
Really I've made that one at home. That maple sage syrup is beautiful.
Yeah, it's to die for. Sometimes you'll kind of hit some flops, but you know, it's just kind of for the experimentation, you know.
Yeah. I remember, like I think 2 summers ago, I was like really big on like espresso tonics, and like kind of seeing what flavors pair with that.
Yeah.
So what I do is every week, whenever I would go to get groceries for the week, I would get a different fruit to make a syrup out of, and one that oddly became a favorite of mine was cantaloupe.
Dude, that's crazy.
It was so like,
I
it
need
was
to
just
try that.
smooth because like cantaloupe's like not super punchy, but it's like a very like smooth taste.
Okay.
So I just like sliced it pretty thin, and I made like a oleosaccharum syrup out of it. Let that sit overnight, and yeah, that.
I'm gonna have to try that.
But yeah, no, making syrups is fun.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely like learned here. It's got some challenges to it because like I would say sometimes it's hard to like, since we don't have like a dedicated production shift, like, oh hey, we're in the middle of a rush, and oh we're almost out of vanilla. It's not that hard to make, but then you have to like pull out the burner and like get the pot and then make it. But like it's like cheap, it's super fun, it smells so good, and people are like, what's that? Like, you know,
that's a fun way to loop in the people who are coming in too. Like, hey, come look at like kind of how we make what we make.
yeah, it's really cool. I don't know, like for now we still use like Hollander, like mocha, white mocha and caramel and stuff. So I mean, I probably could ask like some like cook friend or something like that in the restaurant industry on like how to do that. But I mean, it's kind of hard though, because like that stuff will last for like a long time. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to make it. I don't know. I'm like scared about like separating and stuff like that. So like I still have a lot to learn on that end. But like the syrup part's like super simple.
Yeah. That's fun. I was talking with Jacob Kirby from Piecewise last week, and he was telling me like that's one of their big things they're pushing for is like making all syrups in house, like that being the kind of the window they close this year. And he was talking about how like learning how to make the mocha and the caramel sauces are just freaking hard.
Yeah,
especially caramel. Caramel is like just so temperament with it too, because like just if you add in all of your milk at one time or whatever, I think it's like heavy whipping cream, then it's like gonna like just react super like just in a big way. Yeah. And then it's just like, okay, well now you have hard caramel candy.
No, literally.
It's like this can be a garnish, but
yeah, that's like one thing I wish like there was like a course that focused on like that particular like topic, because I try like Google it or something and I'm like, okay, like I'll see like a video that kind of like briefly goes into how to make one particular syrup, but like nobody goes over the theory, and I'm sure it's like in some culinary course somewhere. But
Yeah, that definitely is like a thing that ought to be translated though. Like I would think maybe like I'm staring at the SCA notes wheel right now, so I'm thinking you think somebody like SCA would have like something of that nature because like that's an offering that nobody's had yet. That I mean,
no,
there are very few specialty shops at this point that don't have some sort of syrup on their menu.
yeah,
So that could be another way to further educate people. That'd be really cool to see come to light in the near future.
yeah, it would be really cool. And also like just make it more accessible to more shops because maybe just people don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I will say on the flip side, I do wish that sometimes like it wasn't expected as a standard to be specialty because I mean you don't know like as a customer going somewhere like then again I will judge for like I personally don't prefer Tarani, so I know some people will judge on like what brands they buy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have Monin, which I think Monin is fine.
Monin's the best in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you have to use pre-made syrups, then that's what I want to see.
But like just the expectation of like, oh, like the shop isn't good or like good enough because like, oh, they have this one syrup, but like they don't understand the behind the scenes of someone has to like have time to make it.
It's hard to expect that I have like a smaller shop. Yeah.
You have to use all of it or else you're throwing it away. Like so
this ain't a high margin business.
No.
You can't have 20% waste.
No.
That's funny. No, yeah, that's a great point. I haven't thought about that.
No.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about, just because I know you and you enjoy cocktails, like you enjoy the craft of it. How have you been able to integrate that love for cocktails into kind of drink development here?
So, for the record, I am not like very involved in bartending or anything like that. It's just I've done like the alcohol servers. There's like a mixology online course that they also offered. I was like, oh, cool. So I've done like some very light work behind bar, but not like officially working as a bar back or anything. But just getting to learn it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like it's really interesting to me, like comparing the bartending industry to the barista side, because on one side, like people are like, oh, baristas have it so easy. They don't have to deal with drunk people. But then we're over here like weighing out stuff. And then here they're like, just like roughly like eyeball it. Like here's like 3 like seconds of like flipping the bottle over and like, okay. But there's a lot that like I feel like specialty coffee hasn't taken. Like stuff like, oh, like rimming your cups with like just even like lemon juice or lime juice or stuff like that. Or maybe not having to do something as a syrup, but like muddling it or something like that. And for me, like I was working at Two Horse Distillery, and of course you have to have a lot of old fashions at a place that sells a lot of bourbon.
Yeah.
So like just kind of like, oh, hey, what if we did like an iced espresso thing, but like as like a cold fashions, like obviously no alcohol, but like spices and like a sugar cube and like the orange peel and stuff like that, and kind of get that like elevated, experience, because I feel like the default can be like, oh, hey, we have to make like a flavored latte. Like the only thing that changes is like the syrup and maybe like a little bit of the garnish. But like, I feel like there's so much more to be enjoyed than just like milk. So kind of like exploring like the coffee that you select for it, but in a different way, like really, really cool. Like making like learning how to do like the ice cube trays, like the big ones, super fun. And it's just like a really cool presentation. Like here's this glass, here's like the espresso and all that, and like just the garnish and the cherry and stuff. But I mean, I didn't invent an old fashioned. I'm just taking inspiration. So yeah, I'm just taking ideas like that. I mean, I think Stephanie even did like a matcha mojito kind of thing. That was kind of interesting. Yeah,
I remember that. That was
so
very
pretty.
good. I was shocked because I did not expect to like it.
Yeah.
But no, that was so good.
Yeah,
Because I'm not big on like non. Not, I would say traditional, but traditional matcha isn't matcha as we know it either. But like I love a good hot matcha. I love a good cold matcha. I don't like to stray too far from that.
yeah, that's fair.
So whenever I saw that, I was like, "What do you mean?"
Matcha's out there. I don't have the palate for it right now.
Fair.
Like I'll appreciate matcha.
Yeah.
Hojicha we've been like kind of experimenting with, or
I
Noah
need
has.
to get on that
It's interesting.
because I I have read a good deal about it, and then I've seen a few shops a little bit more west than us like start to offer it. But I have yet to find a shop in the southeast that offers hojicha on their menu.
We might be offering one pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah, Noah and Stephanie have been kind of working on something. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
Is it just gonna be like a hot hojicha latte, or is it gonna be more inspired than that?
I think there's gonna be a little bit more items in there.
Okay.
I haven't been super involved with that.
Fair.
So
I know
we'll
it's
see.
supposed to be more of like a chocolatey, nutty type
Yeah,
taste.
the malt like notes are super good.
Interesting.
Super good.
I'm excited to try that.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Well, wait, let me see what else I got on my notes. Okay, yeah, I feel like we've kind of hit all of the like what you've learned while you're here type deal. So, obviously, Blackwater's a growing business, and yeah, I just want to hear about, I guess, like where you would love to see Blackwater go in the future as an employee here, and a tight part of the community because it's a small team that are
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I would love to see us get like super busier. I'm used to like the busy cafe vibes.
Yeah.
For me, like I think the like most natural like thing to do would, well, they've talked about potentially moving like the roaster like in a different room because it does get loud and hot.
It does.
It really does. We're like sweating. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
And roasting has a very unique smell to it too.
I love the smell though.
Yeah, it's not bad.
great.
It's just different than a shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very true. But that's like kind of something like we don't want to like hide it away, you know?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect because like we're Blackwater Roasters, not Blackwater Cafe plus roaster, you know? So that's like kind of been hard just observing. I'm not involved in that at all. But yeah, like just it's really interesting too. Like it does take up some space down here. Granted, like even if we didn't have it here, we wouldn't have a lot of space for a ton of seating.
Fair.
But like just getting to bring the community more downstairs, like the upstairs is great, and I love our bar seating.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's a unique vibe for sure in here. But if we could get more people in here, like to stay and hang out down here and like hang out with us, like I would love that. Like I like getting to chat and have people hang around the bar and like just have an extended conversation.
Yeah.
That's not like a 1 minute like transaction, you know? And of course, like I'd love to see the like wholesale like shoot off, you know?
Yeah.
But that is a cool thing too. Like, Stephanie and John Boy have been like pretty open about like, hey, like we don't necessarily want to go down the same growth route as like other indie shops. So like that's really great for the business and the community. For me, I don't know what my future could be here. Just because we have to have a small team.
Yeah.
So for now, just barista. For me, like being here, but for the company, there's a lot of opportunities.
For sure. Yeah, just trying to learn everything you can while you're
Yeah, honestly.
I guess if we're gonna talk a little more big picture future, especially for you, where would you like to see yourself in like I guess the next 5 years?
So I think for me, like the end game goal for me is to step away from bar, not entirely, but just like I don't want that to be my main like income and stuff like that. I gotta pay bills and be an adult, unfortunately. That I will say, like, don't knock on the barista industry, thinking that it's not like it can't be a professional job, a full time.
Yeah, it's just difficult.
A lot of variables depending on the city and stuff like that. But I think for me, like, I would like to get more into like the sourcing side, maybe like more sensory and like quality control stuff like that. Maybe some roasting, and probably more the business side. So like there's a lot of options. I'm not tied to one specifically, but
would you want to? Aren't they called Q graders? Would you
I think
eventually
so.
want
Still,
to get there?
I mean, maybe. I'd be open to doing it some of the time. Like I like the variety aspects, you know. Like, I know like they recently changed the standards for like Q grading.
Really?
Like, I think it's CQI that was doing it before, and now the SCA is taking over it. So, like, this is like the past year that it happened.
I didn't know that.
So there's some changes with like the standards and stuff like that. So I don't know like what that looks like, but I mean, they're still going to do it. Yeah. They're still going to do quality control checks and stuff.
Interesting. But cool deal. Well, yeah, cool. I have a few more like rapid fire questions
Yeah.
that I like to wrap up with. But yeah, thanks for telling me all that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what is like a shop, and this could be like hyper local or it could be across the world, a shop that you can think of that's been inspiring you lately, or that you think's been doing a really good job.
I would say Coffee in Greenville,
Yeah,
and the one you recommended to me was it Local Honey,
yeah, local honey's good.
both in Greenville. But I think it's really cool that um, obviously like real estate like is like finding like affordable real estate is really
Mm,
hard, and it's really interesting. Like I haven't seen it in Texas, but I've seen it like in Atlanta and in Greenville. Of course, people use like restaurant spaces or clubs or bars, and
yeah,
like use them in the morning. Like
hmm,
I'm assuming they're paying them rent or something,
yeah,
and stuff like that. But like it's just really interesting that like there's this unique challenge of like, oh, I want to be in this like downtown spot, and like rent is probably like 10,000 a month or
hmm,
something. And oh, I'm gonna just partner with this business to get the foot in the door and
yeah,
do all that. And they've done like a really both these shops have done a really good job with like the ambiance, the service, and I just love like that determination and passion, and also just like they have massive bars, like bar seating,
yeah.
and
That is a
I
really cool feature.
wish more like coffee shops had that.
Yeah,
Like it's more time to spend with the customers and get to know them, or it's where I go to socialize like on my days off. So yeah, I don't know, it's this really cool concept they've done.
I agree. Cool deal. Um, what advice would you have for somebody who's looking to get into coffee or kind of just learn more? Whether that be somebody who's kind of just like a at-home hobbyist or just somebody who's looking to actually like become an employee of the coffee industry.
Yeah. So I've had this challenge, but I would like really encourage like getting used to the idea of like, hey, you might have to step away from the coffee industry for some time.
Mm,
Maybe it's more of a part-time thing on the side. Just like get used to the idea that like, hey, this might not be my full-time gig, and that's okay. Like I've recently in the past couple of years, I've had to work like a serving job at nights
yeah,
on the weekends, and so like I'm kind of treating my like job as more like a, in my case, like kind of like a hairdresser. I'm like I want to maximize my like my schedule
yeah.
basically, and when is most of that money going to get spent? It's going to be on the weekends, morning and evenings. So basically, weekends I'm working.
I've
But
never like thought of it that way. That is
yeah,
a genius way to present that
yeah,
idea.
it definitely has its challenges. And like here in a small town, like like restaurants close earlier
Yeah,
than they do in the city. So sometimes there's just overlapping, and I've had to like it hasn't worked out like how I'd expect it sometimes, and you're
yeah,
always changing. But just like get used to the idea of like, hey, like continue focusing on doing the stuff at home, but like, hey, maybe that means like working 1 or 2 days,
yeah,
you know. But there, it's a it's a very niche industry, and so there's not, especially in the job market like right now, there's you have small teams. There's not a lot of opportunities, you know.
mm,
You might have to move somewhere. You know, it's down to who you know, like the timing. So just kind of be open to whatever, you know. Not saying that you should just take whatever, but like just be open to possibilities and be flexible, I guess, in a
yeah.
way, and just see what happens.
That's good.
But I mean, a lot of people start their own businesses too. So, like for me, like the like what I can see like in my career, like the possibility of me going to like an importer or something like that is probably a low possibility unless I like really know someone. But starting a business is probably like the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Not saying it's easy, but
No, by no
it's a lot
means.
of money. But
Yeah, but you could that could be the thing that bridges that gap too.
yeah,
That's really cool.
so if you can't find an opportunity, you can always create one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What's something like standing where you are now in your knowledge of all things coffee? What's something you wish you knew sooner?
Oof. So for me, I would say, ooh, so for me, it's like the just like the connecting with customers part.
Mm,
I'm not, I can be pretty extroverted, but I'm not introverted exclusively. So for me, like I would say it's kind of hard sometimes because some companies have certain standards on like customer service and
yeah,
hospitality, but there's no like one correct way to do, like, conversations and like hospitality with like customers. And so like give yourself forgiveness, but also like, you know, focus on like where your common interests are. If you're introverted, don't let that turn you away from like working in the industry, because honestly, if you just ask the right questions, the customer will do all the talking for you. You just have to listen. So it's don't let like anything stop you in that regard.
That's really cool. Two more things, kind of. Not related, but what's a question you have for other baristas?
I mean, I feel like for other baristas, I'm usually just like, hey, like, what are you learning right now? Like, what's your favorite drink? Like, what's your favorite shop to go to?
Yeah.
Like, it's probably more casual, to be honest.
Sure.
I love checking out new shops. I really do wish like there were more like latte art throwdowns. So like sometimes maybe like, be like, hey, like, do you know if anything's happening in the area? But yeah, it just depends.
That makes a lot of sense. And like the last bit, what is your favorite espresso drink right now?
I've been drinking a lot of espresso, but I recently perfected like a Cubano. So I finally figured out like the right amount of like espresso to pour on the top to like froth it perfectly. Or if you're doing the mocha pot, the same amount to get on there. But I don't know why. I just like, it came out either really liquidy when I tried it, and now I've just like locked it in. So now I'm like, oh, I love this. It's a jet fuel.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
And then what is your favorite coffee right now? Like a specific roast?
I've been really digging our Guatemala here at Blackwater Roasters. At first I was like, I don't know, the Honduras we changed recently.
Which is great though. I tried it recently. I loved it. Yeah.
Okay. For me, like, I don't know if I like really tried it that often. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try some different ones I haven't done. And for some reason, I saw that like a lot of people were ordering Guatemala, and I'm not usually like a darker roast kind of guy. But like it's like a medium dark, just like a little lighter than the Sumatra we have. And I love like the blackberry notes with that. So good. I'm addicted.
Dark berries like are just such a fun note in a pour over. I'm starting to find my preferences in that.
Yeah.
And I think like a nice like blueberry or blackberry mixed with like a chocolatey note. Something about that is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's been like refreshing because I feel like I really like went towards our Ethiopian Guji a lot. But I really love just blackberry is so good.
Yeah, I agree. I got a bag of that Guatemala yesterday, but I gave it to Edwin at Reunion, which he'll actually be on for the next episode. So
heck yeah. Well, tell him to try it on Flash Brew. It's really good.
Okay, we'll do. Cool deal. I'm trying to think if I had anything else. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you.
I'm glad we got to talk.
Super fun. Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. Well, hey, thank y'all for listening. And again, I'm here with Jacob here at Blackwater Roasters. So if you haven't been to Blackwater, it's here in Seneca. It is 15 minutes from Clemson's campus. It's a direct shot. It is so worth the drive. It's not even that much of a drive. But when you ask me like my favorite shops in the state, this is one of them. So come visit. And if you can't make the drive, they got their beans online and you can order them. So order them.
Yeah, we do shipping.
Cool deal. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you.